Hello and welcome to round 6 of the GRcade Cup. This is more of a mic test more than anything else, and yeah, we'll be starting the race in about 10 minutes or so. So let's start with the qualifying results from the Phoenix Grand Prix. If you haven't seen already, then you can see on the screen now that Canopio won the qualifying session to make that 3 pole positions in a row for the Chariot Motor Group. In fact, that is 3-1-2 first row lockouts for the group in 3 races. I unlocked an achievement in the game for that, so that's the first time I've even done that in the game, full stop. So yeah, that was a great start for us. And here is some of the tweets, and we've got there. So yeah, weather's expected to be sunny. 22 laps on high tyre wear could be a bit tricky for our car, because the Chariot Motor Group car is not great at managing its tyres. I think that's fair to say. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at our knowledge items. I'm going to go for race trim. I always go for race trim, and I am probably going to go for hard tyres, but we'll come back and see if energy repair is a good idea. We'll do the same for Canopio, and we might go for nurse. So one of the reasons that the Chariot cars are doing a little bit better this time around than you might be expecting is because we have we've been a bit lucky, because with the podium we got last time around, we actually had a little bit more sponsorship income than we were expecting, and so I was able to spend that additional sponsor income on a couple of new rear wings, which I think has given us a bit of an advantage. The downside for that is that I didn't actually get those parts into good nick, so they're actually a little bit dodgy, and that could be, we're fast but fragile, I guess, is the long and short of it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So we'll probably stay with nurse there, but I might change that. I need to check on setup and see how badly the setup went. Actually, that's not too bad. Can we get that downforce better? No, I think the downforce is probably a bit further down, and the problem with that is with downforce is it messes up these two. So is it worth me trying to go for it? Yeah, that's close enough. We'll give Red Dog that. So we've got 22 laps. These hards will go in Red Dog's hands. 8. We'd hope that the race gets, those softs are just so much faster, and he is second, so it's probably worth us going for the soft tyres for him. So he's going to do 5 laps on the soft, and then we'll probably have to go hard, because he generally goes lower end of that range. So he'll probably go 4, 12, 20. Well, I just have to push those hards a little bit longer on his next stints, but I will start him on the softs. We'll keep his fuel full, so that's fine. Meanwhile, did we get any? We didn't get any. Oh, there's one. Good. Poor. So I'm looking at the handling here. Should have said that. There's a handling gain to be had. What I can't work out is if it's better to go towards the oversteer. No, it's probably better to go to understeer. and hopefully that gives us the edge, I think, with Canopio. Canopio's form's quite low actually, that's not so great. Yeah, Canopio definitely doing a really good job with his stats. See, Canopio just does better with his tyres, so he could one stop hard, but I think the speed is so much here that he's better going 5 on the softs, then going 8 on the mediums and 8 again on the mediums at 16.23. Goes 1 lap longer on his soft tyres because it'll last a little longer. Yeah, so I think he's soft, medium, medium. And again, we'll keep his fuel full. And again, I can't do anything in the driver strategy, so that's where we are. Let's look at a tyre selection for everybody. And we'll look mainly at our major contenders. Victor Mildew is going to struggle to do a 1 stop, but that didn't stop Vermeulen last time round. Vermeulen has a lot of options. Devlin has no hard tyres left that he can use, so that's going to be interesting to see what he can do. He's probably going to be going for a 2 stop, but he is in 3rd place, so that's interesting to see. Other major players, Falsey has no soft tyres left. You got to say that might have held him back in the qualifying. That's odd to see when you look at someone like Mildew did 4 sets of softs, he's used 2. Kutuf in the same boat only had 2 soft tyres, so those guys are going to be going, you expect mediums and hards. That's very interesting. You're probably expecting the Thorntons to be going on a bit more of an aggressive strategy as well, with only 1 hard tyre left. And Lotus and Urkel are probably going to struggle to go on their soft tyres. So yeah, again, that's an interesting mix we've got here. I never really look at this screen, but yeah, we're going to see some of those strategies play out, I think, during the race. Before we get to qualify, let's just look at the practice. Can I really show you the practice screen? Trellis usually steps in for Canopio because Canopio is really bad at feedback and Trellis is amazing. So he usually goes in there, and he was the fastest man in practice. I think that's the 2nd time round he's been fastest in practice, so doing a great job there. And yeah, we can just have a very quick look at how everyone's doing. Yeah, Dan at the back there. Dan, I did give a bit of a boost when we moved up through the championships, but it doesn't seem to have been enough to give him the boost he needs to be fully competitive. Kutu's not doing so great in practice, but fundamentally all this doesn't matter too much because they've all qualified now and they all did a little bit better. So for our starting grid, what we've got is we've got Canopio and Red Dog 1st and 2nd. Canopio managing to qualify 4.5 hundredths of a second faster than Red Dog, which was quite a commanding lead. However, Red Dog having the better form, so he might be able to do a bit more today, but again, that smoothness is always going to be the thing that holds him back in his capabilities, although looking at that, he's probably the better driver. Coming down, we've got Devlin leading the rest of the pack. He's in 3rd. His form is looking relatively poor. You can see just how strong a driver Devlin is. Mildew in 4th place, also a very strong driver for the Steinman. On the 3rd row, can be doing really well and putting himself back in contention. He's got relatively decent form, a decent driver as well. Robbo in 6th place, looking to be more of a rear gunner today, although he does still have an outside chance of winning the championship, and he has got some decent stats. Now Falsey, very strong driver there. His main drawback is on feedback, but he's very much in form, so Falsey's one to watch there, and he's the 1st of the medium runners. So again, Falsey preferring his kind of alternative strategies. Vermeulen worked so well for him last time, some amazing stats himself. He's going to try the same thing, so there is a second group we have to watch. Expect the top 6 are going to pull away. Return of the Star, also a very strong racer on the mediums, with Floyd Freak in 10th. Satrial is kind of the last of the potential championship winners mathematically, although you'd expect he's probably more of an outside bet. And Lewis D in 11th, the first of the hard tyre runners, the first of the potential one-stoppers, so you can't really count him out. He's in decent form as well, compared to the couple of guys behind him, where we have Lotus, and we have Neo Cortex, who has decided that he's going to retire at the end of the season. Memento Mori continued to outperform his equipment, definitely outdriving his car. His form is good, and you'd expect it to be as well. Majiga, I've decided that's how you pronounce this name, Majiga. He's on the hards as well. We don't know his stats, I haven't scouted him out yet because he's still relatively new, but he's got decent form. Urkel, hoping to go forward from 17th, and Kutuf not doing so great this time round. Again, I don't know his stats yet because he's still relatively new. And Jam Master J, probably one of the weaker people in the standings, but his form, he's in the best form of his life. So on those softs, you know what, I expect he'll probably jump ahead a lot of these people. Maury's on mediums as well, so Maury will go ahead possibly. Yeah, he's going to go aggressive. So let's see. Don't be surprised if we see Jay go forward. And Dan, last place, hard tyres. See what he can pick up. He's still young, only 23. A lot of development time still to go for him. Okay, well, it's now just after 8:30 as far as I can see, so let's get into the race. Once quickly through the standings again. Yeah, I'm excited for this one, hoping that we don't go backwards, but again, the biggest risk for the Chariot team is that the car just does not make it to the end because it is so fragile. So we're going to click on the lights, go on, and they're out. Oh, it's an awful start from Canopio. Canopio falling backwards. He's down to 4th place. Meanwhile, behind I can see Falsey is fighting somebody who I didn't catch. It was the Scuderia, but he's fallen down to 10th place, so that's been a struggle. He's now back up to 9th. Meanwhile, Mildew up into 1st. I missed that, but Red Dog leading now the rest of the field down in 2nd. There is a lot going on further back. We just have to zoom in a little bit and see what's going on, but Turn the Start was on the outside, trying to squeeze through the middle of the 2 cars around him. He's got Vermeulen up front and Robbo behind. Robbo slipping to the inside, gets the slipstream behind Vermeulen and is looking to go round him. He doesn't, gets boxed out, and that gives Return of the Star the opportunity to get the place back. And Falsey now looking to see if he can make something out of this. Cheeky Devlin down in 9th. He's also had a poor start. I've missed that as well. But Devlin now at the inside of Falsey. So Devlin up into 8th. And he gets to the inside of his teammate. I know we've got a really slow Turn of the Star. He's pushing, but he's fallen down to 11th place. He's fighting in 12th with Cortex. And oh, who was that? Lotus has crashed. We've got a virtual safety car. I'm going to let this run in real time. Virtual safety car. Who's where? Who's got what? Red Dog on those softs. We have passed the start finish. It's too late. 48 seconds. I don't think we're going to get much from that. So whilst the virtual safety car is going, let's have a quick look. We've got Mildew out in 1st place. We've got Red Dog in 2nd. Just behind him is Kanbei. Don't know where he's come from. Canopio down in 4th. Vermeulen, the first of the medium runners, with Robbo 6th, Devlin down in 7th, Falsey 8th, and Urkel 9th, Cortex 10th. As we get racing again, we're going to jump back to Kanbei because I think he's got the best chance of doing something, but the restart is in a relatively slow section of the track. So Red Dog managing to make just enough of a gap there. Meanwhile, Mildew so far ahead, 9.2 seconds ahead of the pack. That is just, what is his pace there? He's 4 seconds ahead of everybody. That's just Mildew stamping out his intentions for this championship with that position. Meanwhile, we're just going to nip back here. I saw Majigger got ahead of Master J, and he's doing okay as the Swiss driver. But meanwhile, I think the closest races are probably around here near Cortex. Just trying to get around Urkel. So my attention's just been caught, and I've missed the freaking pit for Red Dog because I was trying to commentate. So everyone's going to hate me again for missing all my pit stops. So we'll have to get him in. And that might have just given him what he needs. He can go fast on those hards. And you know what? Let's just freaking risk it. Let's risk it. He's going to go for it. His tyres are weak as everyone around him. Jam Master J is probably going to be the next person who comes in as well this lap around. Looking down the order, again, Devlin is the closest person to someone. Devlin needs to get around Robbo, but Robbo is probably going to work like a good wingman here and just try and slow Devlin down. Devlin's the one to watch really, and Vermeline's already ahead on those medium tyres, so yeah, I'm guessing Devlin's going to just get held up here. They all go round again. Red Dog in the pits. Well, watch that. That's fast. No, oh, there was a mistake. Loose wheel nut. Don't know what that means. I've never had a loose wheel nut. Does that mean he has to come back in? I'm worried about that. But I don't have time to worry right now. Let's get Kinopio back in. That mistake chances, well, it's high, but we're going to go for it. Kinopio's going to come in this time around. What is, well, I mean, Mildew can pretty much do what he likes. His pace is good, but Vermeline's the one he has to watch. Who's for Mildew. We're just going to follow Vermeline then, and we're going to see how he does on his way around. As Kinopio's in, Vermeline comes out, and he's out into the what will be the net race lead. Cambay currently ahead. Oh my god! Red Dog, no! He's missing a tyre! We've got the head of our hands. Okay, that is what happens. I've never seen that before. That's I've played this game a long time. That's the first time I've seen a missing wheel nut. Oh, god damn, this man has no luck. I've been pushing too hard and we've had issues. That's really frustrating. That's really frustrating, that is. Right, okay. Back in the game. Let's see what's going on around here. Return of the Star in Knife. Cambay's come in this lap, so let's see where he falls out. Return of the Star is going to go round again. Maury's pitting this time round, so Maury's gone through his tyres a little bit more than he would like. We've got to see where people are going to drop out in a moment. Looking here, Kinopio's got out in front of Robbo, so that's good. That's a good position there. Maury's going to come out near Jam Master J. He manages to come out ahead, so that's good for him. And yeah, Red Dog back in, so he's now actually in 19th on the road, and it's really unfortunate for Red Dog because today he was actually racing really well and he deserved the position he was in. He was ahead of Kinopio on performance, you know, and yeah, that was some fair colour commentary there from Red Dog as he finds himself a whole lap down. I mean, that's poor. Right, as I said, head back in the game. Lewis D is trying to take, he's trying to be overtaken by Majigger. He's on those hards. Is he going to come in this time around? Possibly. Kutuf is going to come in. Mildew's doing good on those full hards. He's in 12, so he's got to work his way back through the pack. He's about to overtake Return of the Star. That might be tricky. He might be better off just sitting behind, waiting for him to pit, and yeah, then just making his move and going round. Vermeline's gone round again. Those tyres are looking quite worn. Red Dog seems to be all over the back of him, but he's possibly unable to lap himself. So let's see what he does next time around. Meanwhile, where has Kinopio's up in 7th? Kinopio has been jumped by Kanbei, so Kanbei's gone out longer and got the jump on him. So Kinopio is probably down to, well, effectively be 3rd place. Though again, it depends where Vermeline's coming out. And safety car's out. Oh, safety car's out. I don't know why. Well, I'm Kinopio. We're with laps. Kinopio. It's 1 lap too soon. I don't know whether to pit him or not. I know what's going through my mind is I'm so bad at strategy calls that whatever I do is going to be wrong. I'm on Red Dog anyway. I'm looking at the wrong bloody person. I mean, that would have been embarrassing. Somebody came in. Lewis D and they need to come in. He can make these last 11. And one of those laps is behind safety car, so that has to be. So yeah, one of those laps is behind safety car. So I'm going to pit him. And I am actually going to pit Red Dog, because there's no harm in pitting him. He's dead last anyway, but he'll just have slightly newer tyres. He has to come in anyway. We'll fix the part while we're at it. And we'll just bring him in. Now this puts Vermeulen into some really... Oh, where's Kenobi going to get 10th for years? Yeah. This puts Vermeulen in some really good position now, because he's now brand new hards. He could potentially make it to the end of the race on those. Mildew behind on some used hards. He definitely has to come in. So Vermeulen somehow has overturned Mildew's massive lead and is now looking like he's the one who's going to win this race. I mean, that's a bit of a shock for me. Red Dog coming in to get those new hards on. I am just going to speed this up a little bit because we are just behind safety car. Although he's now going to be massively behind, so maybe that wasn't a good idea. But, I mean, when else are you going to do it, right? So, we fixed his car. Now, Vermeulen's staying well behind the safety car. Is the safety car coming around one more lap? Have I got this wrong? Is he doing one more lap? He is. So, we're just going to follow this round. These guys have not warmed their... Well, Red Dog's warming his tyre up because he's chasing the pack. And you can see he's coming round. So he's just going to get onto the back of the queue, which is great news for us. He had a little bit of tyre warmth in there. So yes, Vermeulen with Mildew behind him. How's this going to go? He goes late, you would say. Mildew's managed to stay right behind him, and but he's kept the gap. Kanbei though has fallen behind Robbo. And now it's given an opportunity to Cheeky. Cheeky's going to go for 2 overtakes. Meanwhile, Mildew's fallen down behind Urkel. Urkel in 3rd place. I haven't even mentioned that. Urkel's doing great, and now he's in 2nd. Really good performance there. And meanwhile, Kinopio up into 6th. So Kinopio fighting back for his position. He's now on the inside of Well, I know he wasn't, but he tried to get the inside of Kanbei. He stays in 6th. I think... Somebody fell back, but there's so much jostling for position. I'm struggling to keep up here. And yeah, Floyd Freak in 10th. Lewis D up in 8th. So he's going to be happy with that performance. And we got a yellow flag. What was it for? Maury's crashed. Ah, Maury. Maury's out in his... Well, we hope he's safe. I mean, that's the important thing. So hopefully yeah, and he's back in the garage. So it looks like he's safe. During that, we can see that... Vermeulen's made such a lead there. Kinopio's fallen back now. He's fallen back quite a few places. He's got to be careful. He's been pushed to the outside. Once you're out of position, you get jostled around. You can lose quite a number of places. He's down to 11th. That's really disappointing to see in the space of a couple of corners. He's now pushed himself back up 10th in front of Cortex. So Cortex dropping out the points once again. And I was seeing if we can get around Floyd Freak. And no, he's just sitting behind it. And we've got another! Dan's crashed! Another! Oh my god, it's absolute carnage here. So many crashes, that's 4 out. And this race has had it all. Devlin still in 3rd place. Just behind, there's some jostling again for position. Red Dog's up in 12th. Red Dog in 12th. Given this race, Red Dog has had 12th. That is a great result. He's only a couple of places behind Canopio, and you wouldn't have believed that a while ago. 7 laps to go. There's still some pits to be happening. Cambay up in 4th. Urkel in 2nd. That is still going really strong. Mildew being chased now by Cambay. Mildew's going to have to pit. He's probably just trying to go as long as he can to make that pit worthwhile, because you fall so far back when you pit. Look at where Devlin and Robbo are now on the track. So this is where the pitters are at. So Mildew's going to have to come in. Keep it calm, Canopio. You've got to make those tyres last. So we'll see who's going to come in this time around. So Mildew goes round again. I think that's a mistake, and he's going to regret that. Cambay, those tyres are going to not last. Lewis D might make those tyres last. 5 laps, 50% on those tyres. You'd have to really look after him. But Floyd Freak, you got to expect it in this lap with not much left on those tyres. Meanwhile, Falsey again might do okay with that much on the mediums. Going to look after him. Meanwhile, Devlin is on fire. He is putting in a purple sector in sector 1. Did a 1:28 last time around, but he was pitting. So let's see what he does in his next sector. Meanwhile, yep, it's happened. They're in. Mildew's in. Those tyres just were not lasting. Devlin, a 2nd purple sector. Red Dog. Oh, Red Dog's going to have to pit again, isn't he? Well, you're staying out, mate. That's the only way we make that work. But Devlin flies round the fastest lap of the race. Devlin does a 1:08.3, and he's made some massive progress there. Canopio up in 6th. You got to hope he's going to go. Well, I'm hoping he's going to keep going round. I'm going to make Red Dog do it, because there's still a fair gap he has to drop before he goes out. We've had Lewis D and Floyd Freak pit. So where do they come out? Are they going to make it out in front of? No. Here he goes. Devlin flying. And yeah, he's up into 7th place. Floyd Freak down into 11th and just outside the points. Devlin absolutely on it with a few laps to go. Mildew's got his foot down as well on those softs. 4 seconds back, and you see him on the corner there. And meanwhile, Canopio quite close to Falsey, but Falsey's coming in. Canopio's just got to make those tyres last, but you know, those tyres are cold. Red Dog, he's got to try and make his last. His are cold, but they're both in podium seats. I ain't moving them. They got to stay out. I mean, if we get a 2nd and 3rd, that'll be amazing. And but Vermeulen just so far out in front. He's still doing 1:10s on those tyres. Devlin did a 1:10 that last time round. Mildew's at 1:08. So, you know, even if they lose 3 or 4 seconds a lap, you've got to expect that, you know, they might be able to hold on to those 2 podium places. But Red Dog's going to have quite a lot to do with 2 laps remaining, with 13% on those tyres. It would be a real shame for him to lose 2 sets of tyres in one race. That will be shocking. Mildew, sorry, I haven't spotted this. Mildew kept his foot in. Devlin's in! Oh no, Devlin's in! What's he in for? Those tyres would have lasted to the end. Why did he pit? Oh, that's a massive upset for the championship. You've got to expect he's just thrown away a strong chance of winning this this season. He's coming and is now down in 15th. Red Dog still on the pace there with 6% left on those tyres. That's real punchy. Urkel's looking strong there to jump up past Cambay with those softer tyres. So what can you do there? He's, it says 14 seconds faster, but he must have just come in. So let's see what he can do. Coming up around the back of Oh my god, what's going to happen here? He's on 0%. Again, something I've never done on this race before. He's put a tyre to 0. So, I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, I can't watch it the entire way because I think there's a race here. And Kambe fighting off Urkel with a result that would be outstanding for him. Can he nip at the inside? He does. He's made that pass. Meanwhile, back here, Falsey's up into 8th, gets round Floyd Freak. And he holds on to 8th. And Mildew's going to come round for 4th place. Urkel is round in 5th. Let's jump a bit further back and see what's going on here. Majiga out in 14th. He's not going to be up to that with that. Cortex 10th. Devlin steals faster slap at the end, but you've got to wonder why he came in. That's just, I think that's really poor decision making from the Scuderia. And Vermeulen wins the race. Is that his 3rd race win of the season? It's definitely his 2nd in a row, and that was a very exciting United States Grand Prix. Whew, catch my breath. Let's just jump to the scrutineering and make sure nothing untoward happens now. Oh, something untoward has happened. Victor Mildew demoted 2 points for illegal parts. Cortex! Oh, I was about to sing your praises, Cortex, because you were 10th. But no, you've also been cheating, so you lose your 10th place. That's really sad to see. And was everyone else clean? Although it doesn't matter because they're out of the points. Everyone else was. Okay, so end of this race. Vermeulen wins with a time of 30 minutes. That's longer the race than I was expecting. Canopio 10 seconds behind with 2nd. Red Dog 3rd place. And is a strong contender for my driver of the day. But I'm going to give it to Urkel, who's made up 13 places in this race in his Velan Racing. Will make a massive difference to his team in their constructors charge. Kambe 5th, started away, finished, which to be fair is more than some other people can say. Mildew taking that 2-place drop. Yeah, what Steinman were thinking, I don't know. Well, I do know they were trying to get an edge for their man, and it's backfired and blown up in their face. Meanwhile, further down, False in 8th place. Got to expect he's probably going to be out of the championship contention now. Lewis D getting that 10th place after Neo Cortex's drop out of the points. Return the Star, not making it into the points. Again, you've got to expect he's out the running. Majiga doing quite well with 14th. Devlin, what could have been for Devlin? I'm going to lay that at the hands of his strategists. He should have stayed out and seen what could have happened. I think that would have been the right call. Jam Master J finishing last in 16th, but 4 people did not finish this race. They were Dan, Mori, Saturales and Lotus. So here we are. 2nd place trophy for me and a 3rd place one, but that wasn't worth showing for some reason. And here we are with the standings. So it is a 3-horse race as we go into the final race in Rio de Janeiro. Vermeulen with a commanding 13-point lead over Victor Mildew, and 23 points ahead of Cheeky Devlin, the only 3 people who are mathematically still in the running with 25 points in the last race. For Devlin to do it, he'll have to win, and Vermeulen will probably have to finish 10th or less. My math is correct, and I can't do the Mildew one off the top of my head, but we'll take a look at that and work it out later. Canopio up into 5th in the standings, really strong finish to his season, and Robbo up to 9th with his strong finish today. Lewis D dropping to 13th. Probably feel hard done by there, but Urkel rocketing up to 12th place. No, to be fair, I think that's only 1 place that he's gained, but it's a lot of points is needed to do that. Meanwhile, O'Neill Cortex has scored points, must have done it last race. 4 pointless finishers, 2 of those guys not finishing. So Looking at the team standings, that is still quite wide open. It's doing something on maths. Can I do it at 46 points? 25 plus 18 is... I can't do that. Why can't I do that math? I think that's outside of what I can do. I can't do it. So top 4 can theoretically still win the championship standings, although you've got to expect that it's probably Steinman versus Panther Racing, especially given the form the Scuderia are in, and Windsor just don't seem to have the pace at the moment. Meanwhile, it looks like the Chariot Motor Group have probably got the legs on Van Dort now, with their 15-point lead, and Vellum Racing have probably put it past Rosato Corsa for 7th, with that outstanding drive today. Catano Sport be hoping for a miracle to get themselves off that bottom spot, and Thornton really outperforming their car there with 9th, so that's great to see. So that's the end of the race. That's the end of the coverage. Next time round we'll see how it all kind of wraps up. That was really exciting. Apologies that I got lost a couple of times with that, because there's definitely some things I've never seen before happen in this game, which is really surprising because I've played 250 hours of it. So yeah, really excited to see who wins the teams, really excited to see who wins the Drivers' Championship, and also the stories throughout the grid. With that, I'll speak to you all next time.